Hey everyone, this is Salamancer. You are watching Sal TV, and today I'm bringing you guys another game from ESEA Open, this one between Team Xensity and Man Mode enabled on CP Gullywash Pro. So I know you guys have seen a lot of Gullywash in this channel so far. It's because basically the only STV demos that work right now are from the last couple weeks, and looks like, oh no, okay, we just had a little bit of lag on the server. I thought there was going to be a pause, but I'm so glad there's not, because pauses are lame. No, it looks like there is a pause, so we will be right back. Or maybe it really is just lag, I don't even know, but we've got the mid-fight going on right now, so I'll go over the rosters in just a second, but looks like Man Mode enabled here getting very, very strong on mid, and they've already taken down Virulent here. Turts McGurts and Scones jumping in, tag-teaming Virulent down, so the medic is gone for Xensity, and right away it looks like that's not going to be a good thing for them. They're going to have to drop back probably all the way to last. The cap does go down for Man Mode enabled, so MME here pushing down to the second point with ease so far, and trying to block off as many routes here as possible. Fabry doing, of course, a very good job, and Scones running in to clean up Arkizzy as well. So this game so far not going well at all for Virulent. We've got Slick Fro setting up some sticky traps down at that doorway, but we'll just have to see. Looks like he does manage to get Phantoms, so he at least managed to knock out a scout. That's going to slow down Man Mode slightly. But of course, Man Mode does have the 100% Uber advantage. They are going to jump in very soon here. They're not going to want Virulent to come up and get his 100%. That would make a very bad situation for MME. So, while we've got just a little bit of time here, looks like nrage is setting up on the NG. No, we don't have any time anymore. I was going to go over the rosters, but you guys are pushing in. It's too late now. So the Uber's coming in, and it looks like that is just about going to be it. Actually, MME hasn't killed anybody yet. They've knocked out the mini-sentry, but I'm liking the mini-sentry defense coming down from Xensity. Now, Arc has finally died, and Deep as well, but we've even got the, or I'm sorry, Die Please. I said Deep, but his name is Die Please. We've even got the Pyro out right now on the point. And I'm not catching all this action here, so my bad. But wow, it is now Soldier Medic versus. Oh wow, that was a very close defense there by Xensity. So now we can go down the rosters. On Xensity, we have for the Medic, Virulent, for the Demo Man, Slick Fro, Die Please, and Arc on the Soldiers, and Rage and Remix on the Scout. And then over on Man Mode enabled, we have Nenzal on the Medic. Fabry is their demo, Scouts, Turts McGurts, and Phantom, and Scones, I believe, is their roaming soldier. Remedy is their pocket. So, Scones coming up here already. Looks like he may want to make an aggressive play and jump up to the right. No, looks like he's taking a lot of damage here. So, Xensity getting a lot more aggressive on the points than they did last time. They actually hold the high ground really well here and dealing just a lot of damage to the MME team. Finally, though, Slick Fro does go down. That's not going to be good for Xensity here. They're not going to be able to zone out all that area. So, Remix over here trying to get into a little scout battle, but he goes down. So, MME once again cleaning up at the mid-fight. And it looks like MME's just playing very dominantly in this game so far. I don't like Nenzal's positioning here, though. What is he doing? He actually, okay, he's got his soldiers coming up behind him now. So, wow, they managed to knock out Virulent again. Nenzal at 80%, and they just can't knock him down. nrage got in there, tried very hard to stop that. Sounds like Remix still having a little bit of the lag problems that we saw earlier. Nonetheless, this does seem like it's going to be a very, very good game for Man Mode enabled. And I can talk a little bit about these teams here. Man Mode right now, at the end of the season, I don't know what they were ranked going into this game, but at the end of the season, Man Mode enabled was ranked 5th in ESEA Open, whereas Xensity was ranked 7th. So these two teams should be pretty even, but so far it's not what we're seeing. We're seeing actually some weird forward hold there. Looks like an attempt at a flank just went completely wrong. So Die Please already down. Turts McGurts here trying to deal as much damage as possible through the mid. Now, I did like that play, of course. We see that a lot. Arc, one of the soldiers, hopping up onto this little ledge here to try and deal damage and slow down the push a little bit. Looks like the Uber's already gone here for MME. They had to pop it, but it hasn't really gotten them a lot. Wow, actually, Scones is the only one left alive right now to defend the medic, but he's nowhere in sight. He goes down as well. Is Nenzal going to be able to get out of this? I don't really think he will. He's going to have at least one scout chasing after him, possibly two. Remix down here trying to deal as much damage as he can, but of course that medic finally may end up getting away, and Remix is doing the right thing here. He's going to go ahead and try to cap that point rather than let the enemy run back behind them, and while he's chasing after the medic, maybe get back capped, so that would be bad. Nonetheless, they do have an Uber advantage now, pushing into this point, so it looks like Xensity probably will do exactly that. They'll push in. Man Mode enabled is going to do the right thing. They're going to play really conservatively here, and they're just going to jump back through their spawn, or through their, not their spawn, I'm sorry, through that door. They don't want to get Ubered. They don't want to have their medic die, so that's exactly what they're doing, and they're going to give up this middle point here. But the way they gave it up, they didn't deal a lot of damage to Xensity's team, so Xensity walking out here and not having to pop that Uber. They really want to pop it right about now if they can, but it looks like it's too late. They are going to end up letting MME get up to 100%, or very, very close to, 97%, oh, it's so close, and he just barely managed Nenzal at the last second, gets that 100% up, holding down the right click button, so as soon as he can pop it, he does. He does manage to save his team there for a little bit, save his Uber. He's taking a health kit now on the inside, but wow, Remedy's getting air bombed in here. and does finally get taken out. So half of man mode enabled, both their soldiers down right now. Turds McGurts, though, goes huge on Virulent, takes him out, so the medic for Xensity is down. They are going to cap this second point here, and Nenzal is the only one up for MME right now, but looks like we don't have any sort of a bat cap attempt going on. Wow, still some server lag issues. SCV not really showing us that very well, though we do see just a little bit of jumpiness coming in from them. So, wow, yeah, looks like going to be a pretty strong last point defense here. Now, the thing is, MME, of course, has that Uber advantage, but they can't use it, because if they push out, they leave themselves open to all kinds of bat cap attempts. There's like 4 entrances up there, and then there's also an entrance down here that enemies could hide from. So, if they push out with an Uber and try to take advantage of it, they're very likely to just have an enemy scout run around behind them, bat cap. They have to stay back here, and they can't make use of that Uber advantage that they have. The only good thing about it, of course, is that they do have the Uber. If somebody tries to jump in and charge and attack like that, they can use it. They want to preserve it as much as possible so that the enemy has to force them to Uber only after they've already Ubered and run in. It's a good defensive setup here on Gully Wash, but you've got to be careful, because the more active the enemy is at pushing in on these entrances here, the left side, both of these areas in the middle, and the right-hand side, just the more active they are at pushing in and dealing damage, the more damage your team is going to get, and you can even end up getting picked off if they have a sniper or something like that. Looks like nrage and Remix, though, are both on Scout right now. So, nrage, Remix, we don't see any sort of off-classing going on pushing into this last point. Usually you like to see like a sniper or something going in, but I guess they just want to keep the mobility and let the heavy classes spearhead the assault here. Now, they do finally have the Uber ready to go. Let's see if we can't pick out where Remix was going. No, he's probably still in here. Yeah, looks like they want to push in. Maybe they're getting really close. They're starting to try to deal a lot of damage in here. They can play a little bit forward because they have the Uber ready to go. But we are just waiting to see what happens here on Xensity. Because if they can, yeah, we got Remix around the side, watching the flanks. Sounds like Arc tried to jump in, tried to force the pop. He did deal about 50 damage to Nenzal there, but Nenzal is fine now. Did not have to pop his Uber. So that's really what they're just going to try to do. They're going to try to maybe send in one person at a time to see if he can't get a pop or get a pick or something like that. Now we've got Turds McGurts standing over here on the sniper, trying as hard as he can to shoot this scout, but of course scouts are so incredibly spastic that it is just very difficult to get those headshots. Man mode enabled here, enabling defensive mode at the very least, so they're being extremely defensive right now, and of course, as we said, they can't push out because any person they lose on this last fight, of course, even if they were just to try to send a scout out there, then it would end up being 5-on-6. That's such a bad position for them to be in. They just don't want it to happen. So looks like we had Arc coming in here once again, trying to deal some damage over here, but Nenzal is doing a really, really smart job of just sitting in spawn. He's going to make sure he has that Uber ready to go, and he does not get force popped. He does not get taken out. Looks like the Uber finally comes in here, and good flash there, so they do flash it to the proper people, but the problem is now they've lost their soldier die please right away. The Uber is now come out 4-man mode enabled, and Xensity, I don't like this play. Y'all need to back out, get away, try to set up some sticky traps to cover your retreat. That's exactly what they're doing now. There they go. Playing it the right way. So watching even at ESEA open level, these guys are doing an incredibly good job of making the right strategic and tactical calls here. Turds McGurts takes a little bit of damage there from that sticky trap, but he's going to be just fine trying to push out to this second point here. Problem is now Xensity's back up to having 6 ready to go. Man mode enabled, starting to cap that point, and Xensity has fallen all the way back to mid. So this is actually turned around for them. They couldn't get the pick. Their scouts were both remaining as scouts, trying to push in that last point, which isn't always the optimal solution, actually. You can do anything from bringing a sniper in there to a heavy. We've even seen Enigma run Pyro, actually, on this map, pushing into the last point. Kind of crazy, but there's a lot of good stuff you can do trying to surprise your enemies there and take them out as you push in or before you push in. And we didn't see Xensity do a lot of that. I don't know whether they really wanted to off-class or not, but I think they probably should have at least tried. Nonetheless, Xensity now standing back and defending their own midpoint very firmly. They have the Uber ready to go. If man mode enabled tried to push in here at this point, it probably wouldn't go very well for them. They'd end up having to push through some very, very narrow chokes, but the same applies to Xensity. Now, Xensity is actually doing a decent job here of being really aggressive, trying to take this area, of course. If they can manage to hold on to it, they can, yeah, do exactly what they're trying to do now, which is send a scout or roaming soldier down through this area, through the lower lobby. And when they can do that, of course, they force the enemy, to get out of position for defense. They've killed right now a scout. Looks like we did have the Ubers, and I completely missed the Ubers, so my apologies. But we did watch some of the flank action going on there, and that can translate into a back cap. It can translate into a dead medic. We're gonna have to see what goes on. Looks like both soldiers actually down for nrage, so it didn't manage to translate into a lot actually. Nonetheless, we do have a lot of damage going down on both teams. Slickfro right now trying to cut off some retreating routes in case MME tries to retreat or reinforce. Looks like, yeah, they were trying to reinforce this point. Slickfro does go down, though, to Turts McGurts. Turts McGurts finally gets taken down then by Remix after he gets his big kill there. Remix doing what he can to try and cap this point, take out the medic, whatever you can do. Finally falls back to the medic. That's a great idea. I probably say the word finally just a little bit too much, but he falls back to the medic. Virulent's going to pick him right back up. So Remix here going to stand on this point, and once again, man mode enabled, defense mode enabled. They're going to have to turtle it up here on the last point. And they are down Nenzal right now. The Uber advantage is going to Xensity. Virulent is almost at 100% right now, where Nenzal is at 0. So Virulent has about a minute here, and they can decide when they want to push in. They're probably going to do it right now, though. There they go. They are pushing in there. Wow, really, really great forward soldier play here. Looks like he may kill a heavy. No, at least force him into spawn, though. They just need to get on this point here, and they have done so. Nothing can even contest this right now because they're all standing in spawn. So man mode enabled. Played just a little bit too turtly there. Got forced back into their spawn. Never a good thing to happen, so we're going to watch the Die Please cam. And Die Please looks like he wants to run out here and actually do the Equalizer rollout. So we'll watch Arc instead, see that this great soldier rollout here on the way to this midpoint. Now, I played a game with nrage the other day, and I felt so bad because I was on the Pug game, and I was like, man, I swear I've casted you before. And he goes, yeah, well, I'm on Xensity. And I was like, I don't recognize that team name. Oh, it was so awful. But anyway, we got this mid-fight going on now, and some aggressive soldier jumping here. Looks like nrage and Arc are both down, and now Die Please down as well. Oh my gosh, what a really great aggressive soldier jump there from Fabry. Manages to take out the medic. That was pretty huge, and Fabry actually got Slickfro as well, so just a complete wipe there for Xensity. No good, guys. That, of course, means that MME is going to take this second point. Problem is, even after they take it, both medics are going to have about even ubercharge percentages, so when man mode enabled tries to push into that last point, they really are going to have to enable man mode to secure their victory. Now, we have seen, yeah, it looks like Remix going on the sniper, so we have seen some good off-classing from man mode enabled. We're going to have to see if they can do that right now, whether they maybe suicide in a scout like Turts McGurts here to just go walk in, suicide, see if he can get the enemy medic to pop or die or something to give them an advantage. But if he can't, then he may change over to something like sniper. We've got nrage now actually on the... oh, and wow, that's exactly what Turts McGurts is doing here. May get the medic. Very, very close right now situation. He does get taken out, so Virulent wasn't taken, but with that huge pick on Remix there, that's exactly what they wanted. They have nrage on the spy, and nrage gets a huge backstab there on the medic Nenzal. So wow, just as man mode enabled thought they were going to be able to push in and be really aggressive, now they've lost their medic, they've lost the ubercharge percentage, they only have 3 classes up. They are the heavy damage classes right now, but I'm thinking that Xensity wants to get those scouts around behind and maybe try to cap the second point. I don't see what they're doing yet, though. They really do have to play a little bit defensively just because Fabry's right up here in their face. But Fabry, wow, oh wow, excellent retreat there by Fabry. He was getting bombed in by 2 soldiers. Look at this, though. Team Xensity managing to push out, and they've actually got a 6-on-6 situation, and they are pushing away from their last point. That's not something you usually see going on here. This is very, very aggressive. Gonna have to see if there's any sort of backcapping going on, but there's not. MME is entirely playing back here. Sounds like we had a headshot go down on Arc, though. Uber's finally popped there for Xensity, and they're going to manage to get quite a lot of kills here. Wow, practically everybody right now. Phantom is the only one left up. Let's see if we can find him. Coming in here to try to pick the medic, and he does. Phantom gets a huge pick there. So, this is crazy, guys. Xensity still hasn't capped their second point. What is going on here? Man mode just has to send like 1 scout in there. Turts McGurts, we're going to see if he can't get in to cap this last point here before... No, it looks like he can't. It's going to be a little bit too late. He's just going to deal some damage and back out. So, wow, I'm so surprised there. That was such a really, really dangerously aggressive play there from Xensity. It has paid off. They've capped their second point back. But, I mean, at any point, if a scout had gotten around behind them, that would have been the game because there was just nobody in position to defend it. So, they took a gamble, and the gamble paid off this time around. Xensity with a really, really aggressive push out onto second. I like it. I like it. They did end up losing Virulent, so they have about a 25% disadvantage right now. Nenzal's actually charging just a little bit faster. We'll have to see if he's... I think it seems like he's got the regular Uber out there, though. Virulent certainly has the regular one, and yeah, both of them are going to be running with normal invuln. We haven't seen any Kritzkrieg used yet. So, wow, right now we've got both teams standing around and... using their respective choke points. Actually, Xensity is playing extremely far back here. I like this. They know the enemy has the Uber advantage, so they're just going to sit back with their medic until they've got that Uber up, and then they're going to go right back to holding this forward position. But yeah, look at this. The Uber's actually popped right around that corner. I think they expected a sticky trap there or something, and amazingly, this defensive position for Xensity worked extremely well. Got some action going on all over the place. Die Please managing to try to do what his name... says, please die, but looks like it's, people are not obliging, despite how polite he's being. They just don't want to die yet. Man mode enabled here finally does lose a soldier and a scout, and Nrage coming in here trying to deal whatever damage he can. Has to back out a little bit, but being very, very aggressive here. Nenzal does have a little bit of an advantage since they popped first, and Nenzal did not die. But wow, he goes down actually. Arc coming around from behind, getting a great flank there. We missed it, of course, but can't catch everything because I try to cast these as quickly as possible, so I don't go through the videos beforehand. I just cast them as soon as I pick up the STV demos. I turn them on, I cast them, and I just want to get this out there as fast as possible. Wow, actually, this is really interesting. We do have who is it? Virulent using the crossbow. I've seen the crossbow used quite a bit actually, and it's kind of strange. Maybe maybe he's actually running the crossbow amputator set, but that would be kind of surprising, I guess. That would be, of course, giving up the Ubersaw, and the Ubersaw is so important in these games. But maybe they're actually running crossbow, if that's allowed. I'm not even sure if it's allowed. But crossbow amputator, of course, gives you just a little bit of extra regen, and that can be really important when you don't want to go find those health kits because enemies are trying to sticky trap them or something. Now we've got a big push. Looks like the Uber is popped in. We've got Nrage coming down. Pretty much everybody from Xensity right now plowing into this point here, and they so close to capping it. Looks like lots and lots of people dying here. Xensity only has 3 left up. Nenzal here trying to stop this point cap, just barely can't stop it. Amazing capture there by our soldier Dieplease with like 10 health left, maybe less than 10, just barely capping it. And Dieplease, of course, going to be doing that rollout again. So let's find Slick Fro. We're going to watch the Slick Fro rollout from Xensity, and he's taking, looks like, the left rollout. So yeah, he's going to go around this left side here. He's going to have this secure area to fall back if the enemy really tries to push in. It's a good rollout to take. And the enemy does push in. Very, very aggressive attack here from man mode enabled. Phantom running around. We're going to watch the Phantom cam just a little bit here, but he's having to back up a little bit. Xensity, though, they're still making a play for it. They've lost Slick Fro, but of course, with Scones and Turts down right now, that's not good for man mode enabled either. And lots of damage coming down. Looks like our medic Nenzal finally healing up Remedy here. I've got to stop saying finally so much. Wow, this is huge, though. The point is just, it's up in the air right now. Xensity really wants to cap it, but we'll see what happens. And Virulent does go down. Wow, so only Virulent and his pocket soldier were out there. Virulent ended up getting abandoned, and a scout just came around and said, oh, look, it's like Christmas, free medics. So, just walked right out, smacked him in the back with a couple of meat shots, and Virulent is down. So Nenzal's going to have an Uber advantage. Oh, wow! A little miscommunication there about trying to get that sticky trap out of the way. One of them started shooting at him with a shotgun. The other one just kind of tried to blow him out of the way. So lots of damage coming down, but no kills, sadly. So Scones is going to be right back up to 200. Remedy, of course, going to be up at his 300. He looks like he's being in the pocket for man mode. Oh, man. And I think that Arc here is probably pocket for... No, I lie. It is going to be Dieplease is the pocket for Xensity. So now we've established that. And yeah, Nenzal is just pretending that he's fully charged. He wants to make this team... he wants to make Xensity, like... play a little bit too far forward or make a mistake, I guess. Sometimes it's just what you do. Okay, so we're going to watch Nrage and see if he can't go as huge as he did last time on defense. Using the Cloak and Dagger, of course, he wants to make sure he stays completely invisible. Now he's finally coming around back this way. Where are you going? Looks like we're going to have an Uber situation pretty soon here. No, okay, looks like man mode enabled, not quite ready to push in yet. They're trying to feel out the defense, so we're just going to keep an eye on both these situations here. Fabry is hanging back a little bit, just... Here we go. Okay, so finally Disguise goes down for Nrage. We're going to have to see what happens. Nrage here, can he get the picks, though? No, looks like he gets found out. That's going to be a big deal. Now it's 5-on-6, and Man Mode Enabled realizes that, so they're probably going to push in here at any moment, take advantage of the fact that they have one more player. And here we go. That's exactly what's happening. Man Mode Enabled. The Uber is popped. They're jumping over and trying to make sure that the counter pop goes down as quickly as possible so they don't have too much of a discrepancy there. And it is... we do have a heavy out right now, though. Man Mode Enabled hasn't lost any players yet, but Xensity's doing a good job of remaining on this point, defending it, but now they're only two up remaining. Now only one. Arc is going to do what he can to stop this, but it's just too little too late. Man Mode Enabled with a really solid offensive push there. They just did not lose a lot of players. So, wow, right now, guys, it is 2-2. Man Mode Enabled versus Team Xensity and ESEA Open. This is an incredible game so far. Both teams really playing very, very well. And I do hope to see these guys in the future, especially in the open playoffs. It's going to be a lot of fun. Fabry making the same rollout, of course, that we saw Slick Fro make last round. And this time, looks like Xensity has decided to go the lower route with their combo. Now, the problem with that is that they're getting spammed really hard. They've taken a lot of damage right now. Virulent here is in the danger zone. If he just gets one like rocket or one meat shot on him, he could die really fast. Slickfro gets taken out there by Phantom. So Phantom doing a really good job of doing exactly what a scout is supposed to do, run up and get in the Demo Man's face. It's just Virulent and his pocket right now. They are having to fall back. And let's watch him get back to this last point here. Can they do it? Oh, no, has to pop. That's no good. Of course, with that Uber forced there for Xensity, that's going to put them in a really bad situation against Man Mode enabled. Man Mode has 100% Uber right now. We're going to have to see, though. Looks like Xensity really wants to push out here and force a pop from Nenzal. Wow, finally manages to do it. That was great play there from nrage. He ended up taking like a little bit of damage from a sticky or something and just used it to propel himself straight into the medic. Oh my gosh, Remix may get a pick on Nenzal now. Very close there. Nenzal went down to 60 health. One more good shot would have done it. Now he's still taking a lot of damage here. But at this point, they've sent both their scouts and their roamer into attack right now. Nenzal only has about 20%. I think that was kind of a bad idea, honestly. Just the more they attempt to go after this medic, the more players they're losing. It's 4-on-2 right now. Only 2 scouts left to defend this last point. So yeah, I expect to see Man Mode enabled push in here, even without the medic. They should be able to cap. Finally, Arc comes up, but is it too late? Is it too late? This is going to be extremely clutch if they can manage to hold it. They do. They've got. Who is it? Oh my gosh. Just barely holding on right now. Virulent was standing on that point there, blocking the capture. He did die, but of course he managed to stop it just for a moment. Nenzal is not charging Zuber right now, so not a big advantage there. Slickfro, wow, what a huge kill on Turtzmigurts. Turtz could have turned this around and capped it right away, but Slickfro just barely holding on to that point. That was amazing. And apparently there is still lag going on, so these guys are not happy about it. Sticking up that point there. And the capture rate is slowly going back down, so it's going to take longer and longer, like the full 5 seconds or whatever it is for them to stand on that point and capture it. But that was just a really clutch defense there by Xensity. The entire team making sure that the enemy, oh my gosh, a good attempt there to flank by nrage. But yeah, the entire team just barely kept that point not captured. Nonetheless, they are back in a defensive position, but this time it's a little bit of a sturdier position. Last time, you could compare it to those little like balsa wood or toothpick bridges you made in high school. This time around, it's more like making a bridge out of steel. Actually, it's more like making a bridge out of dynamite here. They're crits creeping in, trying to knock out as much as they can. They really don't manage to do a lot, though. Virulent goes down, so that was kind of an interesting play. Lots of death actually on the Man Mode enabled team. I don't think the crit stickies managed to kill a lot, but it kind of forced Man Mode enabled into a weird position where they had to Uber and didn't have a lot of players to push in with. Now we've got Virulent coming right back up. I don't like this. Nenzal and his team need to push back out there instead of hanging around here where they are. That was a bad decision on their part. They could have lost their medic right there, and they have in fact at least lost Fabry. So are we going to see Xensity try to push back out here in this half? Not entirely sure. Looks like they will end up having to stay back in their point and defend it for a little bit longer. Man Mode enabled trying to build that Uber up. Virulent is down once again, so in fact, if they can't get some kind of weird back cap, or if they can't pick off Nenzal this one, but they do! Oh my gosh, how could I have missed that? They do pick him off. Die Please runs up there and picks off Nenzal. And now that's going to tell Xensity, hey guys, let's push out again. Scone's down as well to Slickfro's stickies, and that is something you can't really say very easily 5 times fast, but I encourage you to try it at home. Nonetheless, wow, Xensity was in a position where they could have pushed out there. They managed to knock out Nenzal, and so they were going to have a little bit of an Uber advantage, but once again, they've lost enough players where it's just not going to work. Watching the nrage cam, and nrage is a bro. I've played a lot of pickup games with him. He picked me up for one. When I played that Pug NA on Tuesday, he ended up picking me. I don't know whether it was just a random pick. Nonetheless, I like him for that. Man Mode enabled here now, pushing in. And they're trying to, I don't know what that sticky's really for. Maybe he's trying to build up the Uber a little bit faster. Yeah, that's probably what he's trying to do. But he'll just start taking damage from a soldier and kind of accomplish the same objective here. Of course, medics build that Uber a little bit faster when their target is damaged. Turtzmigurts was trying to poke in there as a scout, ended up getting taken down, but that is perfectly okay because what's probably going to happen now, that was probably a suicide by him. It looks like he did a little bit of damage to Virulent. But what he wants to do now is probably go sniper. We've got Remix on sniper as well, so we're going to see, while we wait for these Ubers to come up, we're going to see if he can't get a pick, but looks like he's just going to go back over to heavy now. I guess they figured it was too late to really get the pick. They're probably expecting the Uber to come in anytime. Nenzal is 95% right now, so he is just about there. And Turts McGurts now, yes, exactly what we've said. He did suicide in, and now he's going to go sniper. They're going to wait to see if Turts can get a pick. A good kill on any of the enemy team to make it into a 5v6 before they push in. At least that's likely what's going to happen. So we'll see if Turrets kind of walks around this way. Okay, they're engaged in a sniper battle now, but no, he doesn't really want to get into that. Not too much anyway. Looking for the pick. He does spot Remix once again on the sniper. But, actually taking a lot of damage there from a really aggressive soldier push there by Arc. I like that. Of course, Man Mode wasn't really watching, and now Man Mode finally pushes the Uber in. They're pushing in from the left-hand side. They bomb in with the soldier. It's really, really standard stuff to do. They bomb in with the soldier, make the enemy medic pop there. But look at this. Wow, hugely aggressive defense here from Xensity. As soon as they manage to pick off Nenzal, Scones, and Remedy now, they're just walking out here and saying, guess what, guys? It's time for you to die. And they could have done a really good job with that, but they ended up getting taken out by the scouts and Demo Man. Fabry, who is it? Fabry, and who we're watching right here, Phantom, actually doing a really good job of cleaning up that little push there by Xensity. So how much time is left in the half? Don't actually know, because ESEA, oh no, actually I think there's a lot of time left, about 19 minutes here. So whichever team manages to get this next cap is of course going to be the winner of the half. But we always play to 5, so I will skip over halftime probably. But yeah, Man Mode enabled versus Xensity, very close game right now. Both teams kind of feeling each other out here. We have seen both teams do very well in these offensive situations, even Ubers. Man Mode going to have theirs slightly before. I wonder if they realize that. Remix standing down over here, and he does get spotted, but I kind of like that positioning. If somebody had walked a little bit too far forward, they may not have even seen him. We're going to have to see if Man Mode realizes they have the Uber advantage, though, because just a little 10% Uber advantage means maybe like 5 or 6 seconds where they could bomb in and try to damage that medic. They could do it, but it looks like they're not quite ready yet. They may just want to get another pick, or they're walking up Turts McGurts on the heavy now. Turts has played heavy quite a bit in this game so far, and he's got that really dorky-looking, ridiculous umbrella hat, the hard counter, as it's called. Here we go. The Uber has finally jumped in. They do manage to make the blue team pop here. Blue team not taking a lot of damage from this Uber yet. Finally, when it fades, that's when we're really going to see stuff go on. And of course, now that there's a little bit of capture time on the point, oh wow, look at that. Pretty much everybody from MME actually owning Xensity right now. As soon as they got just a little bit of capture time on that point, that of course forces everybody on Team Xensity to drop in and stand on it to try to defend it, and that's just the worst position you can be standing in, because everybody's going to spam you as soon as that happens. So we will be right back after the half. And we're back with the second half. Match is live. Man Mode enabled and Xensity have switched colors, of course, so now Man Mode enabled in the blue, Xensity in the red. Apparently Turt's on Skype or something like that. I think they're just making some jokes here. But MME is up 3-2 at the half, showing some really dominant position in the first half there. A lot of good play by them, very aggressive. And looks like we've got each team here taking the left side rollout, both of them on the high ground right now. Not a lot of flanking going on at the moment. And Xensity here with some really, really aggressive soldier jumping, both of them jumping in at the same time, managing to take out Remedy and Scones both. So now without their soldiers, Man Mode enabled is going to lose a lot of mobility on this point here. They're also going to lose a lot of damage potential. They know that, so they have backed up. Nenzal here is healing a scout and Demo Man. That's not a bad combination. The scout's going to keep enemy scouts at bay, while the Demo Man does a lot of damage. But is Nenzal getting a little bit out of position here? He's getting taken out by a soldier very, very close, and he does go down to the rockets of Die Please and Arc, both chasing after him there. The Uber comes in right now. Looks like Xensity is just kind of ignoring the point for a second here, while they take this Uber into the last, trying to camp the enemy into their spawn here for a little bit so that they can immediately domino cap this last point. It's not meant to be. Arc does go down, but nonetheless, there's only 4 left up right now for Man Mode. Xensity pushing in here as fast as they possibly can. I don't quite agree with that play here. They're going to lose a lot of players, and it could be that Man Mode is just going to continue killing. Oh my gosh, such a close game right now, though. Man Mode forced to sit back on this point here because a scout Remix was just very, very close to capping. So Virulent right now playing very far back. He's waiting for his team to respawn here. Looks like looks like Man Mode has decided that they can manage to capture this point, no problem. So Nenzal coming up around to the side here. He wants to make sure that he gets to the high ground so that soldiers absolutely must rocket jump on top of him. He's got a little bit of an Uber advantage here, so wants to hold on to that as much as possible. And so using his positioning advantages here behind choke points and on high ground whenever he can, just to make sure he takes a little bit less damage from a lot of the rockets and stickies and spam and all that comes in. Of course, it's called spam because you just hold that mouse button down and you fire as many rockets as possible. That's how it is. Finally, we do have an Uber coming around. Remedy wants to get a forward position here, so watch he rocket jumps to get on top of the enemy team. But now, finally, it's just a little bit too late. I gotta stop saying finally. It's been like, there needs to be a counter for that. But yeah, we did have the Uber popped. It was just barely in the nick of time that Virulent managed to counter pop that Uber. He's up to about half health now, still in a very, very dangerous position. But he looks like he's going to get both his soldiers up here. The only person left alive is Fabry. Fabry's going to take a hard fall there, die to a couple of rockets from, once again, Die Please and Arc, both doing a good job of dealing a lot of damage. Arc here says, come on, Doc, I need some heals too, man. Don't just stick with your pocket the whole time. They do manage to push here onto the second point. And that was just really well coordinated there by Xensity. They wanted to play just far forward enough on that mid-fight that when the enemy came in with the Uber, they would have just enough time to counter pop and build theirs up to 100%. So that's exactly what they did. Now they're in a very good position here with a much better Uber. They managed to knock out Nenzal. So MME here back on their last point, and looks like Xensity wants to bring it up to 3-3. Okay, apparently I do have a little bit of a Steam overlay issue, so no, you guys are hearing my Steam overlay and probably not yours right now. Nonetheless, good cap there. The soldier and the scout running in and capping last there for Xensity. So it is 3-3. It doesn't look like 3-3 on this because ESEA resets the scores between rounds, but it is 3-3 between Xensity and Man Mode Enabled. So this is a close match here on this ESEA server, guys, on CP Pro Gully Wash, which is, of course, it's really well balanced, I think, competitive match. As I was told by Shadow Puppet, this map is really, really good for soldiers. Just look at the geography there. Soldiers rocket jumping all over the place. They're very, very aggressive on this map, and yeah, there they go. They're just, hey, it's a soldier playground out here right now. Arc is the first one to go down, so Xensity losing this mid-fight so far, but they're dealing a lot of damage. Remix is down now, but they've taken out Fabry. That's going to be a lot of damage potential lost for Man Mode Enabled. They're going to have to really enable Man Mode here if they want to cap it, but it looks like they will. They've managed to just out-DM their opponents. They've done a better job of just aiming better and not taking as much damage. Of course, that's all we're talking about when we say DM. Their deathmatch skills just managing to shine here on this middle point. So Man Mode Enabled, taking the damage, and just saying, yeah, we'll shrug it off, and all 6 of us are still up. We'll wipe you out at the mid. So Virulent here now has to, he's in a really bad position where he's got like 20% Uber to the enemy's 100%. He's hanging out on the right-hand side here. I guess they're trying to be a little bit aggressive. But, of course, Man Mode Enabled with 100% Uber. They want to push out here and take the last point, bring it up to 4-3, so they'll only have to have 1 cap left to go. So they're pushing into the left-hand side. Their enemies have 50% Uber right now. They do know that the enemy... They do know that the enemy does not have the Uber yet, so there they go. They finally push in. They're attacking. A little mini-sentry defense going up here. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, though. I think Virulent may end up getting taken out here. No, very, very close to death. He hits that supply cabinet. Now the Heavy standing on the point, and everybody, oh my gosh, look at this. That Heavy may get needled down. The Heavy did. Arc got needled down. Oh, no, that wasn't a Heavy. I'm sorry, that was a soldier. Nonetheless, Needle's doing a really good job there of killing. But now everybody from Man Mode Enabled is down. This is, of course, a pretty terrible thing for them. As soon as, of course, Slickfro, I think, comes back up, he'll probably sit there and try to defend the last point from any sort of back caps. Man Mode Enabled here just came up now from their area. Phanom, of course, looking like he wants to see if he can't make the medic pop at the very least. He doesn't want to take a lot of damage from that soldier, though. And wow, look at that. The soldier does end up jumping in scones, making the medic pop here. They really need to get somebody to cap this point. Right now they're being very aggressive. I like Xensity's aggression. The problem is that they don't have anybody capping the point. They could get back capped here. Okay, they finally do get somebody sitting on that point there. So Remix doing a good job, doing his duty as a scout and helping their team out by, oh my gosh, by capping that point. But now Virulent is down. Good stickies there from Scone. I'm sorry, not good stickies, but good rockets from Scones taking him out. Thought I heard some stickies getting popped, which is why I said that. But no, it was Scones the roaming soldier, rocketing Virulent to death. Nenzal here going to have 100% Uber advantage as soon as Virulent comes up. That was about 80%. Nonetheless, that's enough for them to push in and make every attempt to cap last once again. Last time they pushed in with 100%, they just, maybe they weren't coordinated or they weren't trying to get enough kills. They were just trying to stand on the point. Crashing the point, not always a great idea, unless the enemy is standing on it as well, in which case maybe you're going to send some sticky spam in or whatever, but yeah, they just lost key players early on in that last push. This time around, I expect to see them do a little bit better. They're going to learn from that mistake, I think, and they'll push in here with a proper coordinated push, get as many kills as they can. We do have a mini-sentry up here once again, and that mini-sentry is not going to do a heck of a lot of damage because, of course, A, it's going to be, here comes the Uber. Yeah, there we go. The sentry goes down right away. Now, the only good thing about the mini sentries, of course, is you can just drop another one of them, and there he goes. Enrage on the engineer, trying to deal as much damage with that thing as he can. It's just not enough, though, and I would have almost liked to see a level 3 sentry there instead, because that would have at least forced just a little bit more damage to be applied to it. I don't know, 2 or 3 rockets. I guess I could have been okay with that either way. So just not a good position there. They didn't have the Uber, so really, what could they do, right? Xensity got pushed twice with no Uber. And the first time they actually managed to hold off an Uber push. The second time, of course, it was just not in the cards. Here we go, watching the Fabry roll out once again. It's 4-3 for man mode enabled right now. Xensity here. Pushing up on this left-hand side once again. They're doing a good job of trying to put some damage in. They have damaged Scones and Nenzal just a little bit here. Scones, of course, taking a lot of hits. Looks like he wanted to jump up there, but yeah, Scones ends up going down. Turts McGurts and Phanom, both scouts now down as well. Nrage and Remix, both the scouts here for Xensity, doing a really good job there. And now they're trying to get on cleanup. Remix wants to come over here and kill this medic. Can he do it, though? Oh my gosh, Nenzal down at about 15 health right now. There he goes. Finally gets taken out by Die Please, jumping on top of him. So that's going to give Virulent 100% advantage for Team Xensity. They're going to cap this point, push on to the next one with really not a lot of opposition here from man mode enabled. Turts McGurts, oh wow, okay, they did actually get the Uber forced though. Scones ran in, did a good job of making them pop. The problem is, it looks like they, I don't agree with this. Your Uber's already gone, guys. Your Uber's gone. Should you be pushing in here? They do manage to take out Scones though, and Fabry both. Fabry, actually, Scones was taken out a little bit earlier, but Fabry now down. Only 3 left up for Xensity. What are you guys doing? Don't push in with 3 up. It's 3 against 4. Now it's 3 against 3. And Rage here coming around to the side of the point here, but he's just going to take way too much damage. Okay, so the rest of his team is actually hanging back a little bit here while they try to set up, I guess, a good Uber, a good forward position. Phanom standing on the point here as the heavy, making sure nothing can possibly get any capture time. Now he's going to back off a little bit because, of course, he could take a lot of damage there. But it looks like Xensity is probably going to be able to hold their second here. The problem they have is that as MME pushes just a little bit further and further forward, they're taking some damage and having to fall back. They don't have that Uber right now. Nenzal's going to have it just a little bit beforehand, but the problem, of course, Nenzal has is that he's sitting back in spawn, so he can't really use it to be aggressive or anything. That means that Virulent's going to have his 100% backup coming in, so not quite as good a situation as being able to run roughshod over the entire man mode enabled team. Xensity did have to pop their Uber on that second point, so they're now in a situation where it's 100 versus 100, but they do have Turts McGurts on the sniper, man mode enabled, wanting to push in. Did I say Xensity? I meant man mode enabled. No, yeah. MME has Turts McGurts on the sniper just to defend and try and get a big pick here. And Rage and Remix both are still on the scout, so it looks like they really like to push these last points with 2 scouts. They don't like to suicide the men. They just like them to get in there and, I guess, deal damage or get around and try to cap the point while the heavy classes go in and take all the hits. So we've got the Uber. Looks like it may come in very soon, and if it doesn't, it's only because Xensity is waiting for their enemies to get a little bit out of position. We do still have the heavy up and the sniper, and there we go. Enragers coming in and trying to cap that. That may have been that suicide play that they needed. Scones took a lot of damage right there. Took a couple hits from something. We didn't catch it. Fabry setting up the typical sticky trap locations that you see over there behind those doors. Of course, if anybody were to open that door for any reason, they just might die. But yeah, it looks like Enrage. No, he's going to stay on the scout. So I thought maybe that was going to be just a suicide to get a sniper or something. But yeah, it looks like Xensity really just likes to keep these scouts up for their last point attacks. And sometimes it's working out for him. Can't even talk right now. This has been such a long, good game. But yeah, sometimes it's been working out for them. Sometimes it has not. Here we go. We're going to see, finally, I think this is going to be the Uber push they want. They're pushing in, and they're just trying to make the enemy medic pop Uber first. I like that sort of play. Arc jumped in and then had some artillery support there from Slickfro, but Nenzal did a good job of dropping back. And now, oh my gosh, now Remedy and Fabry actually just went down to a good sticky trap there from Slickfro. So Slickfro has gotten 2 picks on man mode enabled. Looks like they may want to push in now with their Uber, now that a soldier and a demo man are both down for MME, and they're just now coming back up though, so this may be just a little bit too late. The Uber is going to get popped here just about at the same time for both teams. So where is the rest of Red Team? That's the question. They're all alive right now. They've taken out Scones. Scones is going to be out of play for this. And big spam coming back here. Looks like the medic gets taken out. That was not a very good place to be sitting. So man mode enabled just their defense crumbled there a little bit when they walked back to the back of that point. I think the problem was they didn't want to walk onto all those stickies that were sitting on the point, but then they still had to defend it. So of course they had to sit back there and try to deal what damage they could from the back of the point. But then they just got a couple of pills roll in and kill both a soldier and a medic, and I mean, that was lights out for them. So it's 4-4, guys. It all comes down to this: Xensity versus man mode enabled. Whoever wins this round wins the game. Big old mid fight going over here, and the first thing that happens, really significant here, is that Phantom goes down, but we've got, who is this? Looks like that was Arc trying to jump on top of man mode enabled. He ends up getting taken down, but not before doing a lot of damage. Now Remedy down as well, so that's going to be the pocket soldier for, I believe, man mode. And wow, man mode has lost almost everybody. Their scout's about to go down here, and Rage following the medic right now of man mode enabled, and so I think Nenzal is not long for this world. He has grabbed a health kit, but and Rage at the same time looks like he was getting a little bit of heals from something. Maybe Nenzal didn't actually grab that kit. So there we go. Nenzal is down, and Rage doing some really good deathmatch work here, killing Phantom as well. So now both scouts are going to cap this point here. No, it's just going to be Enrage. They're like, okay, Enrage, buddy, you did your job. Now let us do ours. Go cap that point, and the rest of us will get in here. Uber in. This may be the end of the game for man mode enabled if they can't cap this. If they can't defend this point very well. It looks like they can't. They've only got 2 up right now, putting up a valiant attempt, but it's just not enough. That is going to be it. So Team Xensity ends up winning 5-4 over man mode enabled. So guys, thanks for checking this game out. It has been great. Of course, if you liked it, hit that subscribe button and tell all your friends that there is some great shoutcasting out there. Tell them to check this out. Check out XTV Esports. Check out Justin TV as well. So, yeah, guys, thanks for watching. It has been a blast casting this game, and Xensity and man mode enabled, of course, both going to the ESEA Open playoffs, so it'll be fun to watch them there as well. This has been Salamancers signing out.